Seguimos en el Mobile World Congress, esta vez nos visita la empresa Symsoft y contamos con Peter Näslund, que es el vicepresidente de Producto y Marketing de la empresa Symsoft. Vamos a estar hablando con él en inglés para que nos cuente quiénes son, qué hacen y por qué quizá debemos tenerlos en cuenta en Latinoamérica. Peter, welcome to Telesemana.
Thank you very much.
So the first thing I want you to tell our audience is who you are and what can you bring to the table if you were to be in Latin America or if you have plans to be in Latin America.
Okay. We're a company out of Stockholm, Sweden. We're about 20 years old, product-based company specializing in charging and messaging. We're currently in Latin America, serving that out of our Americas office in Dallas, in the US. It's primarily focused around text messaging, SMS messaging for messaging, both from the aggregator side of the business, but also from a network infrastructure side. On the charging side, it's a complete online charging system for mobile operators, but also operators to moving towards convergence, both from an access point of view, but also from a service convergence point of view.
Okay, tell us how a company, because we're seeing a lot of companies doing charging and messaging at this show and actually in the industry. Tell us how a company like your company differentiates itself from other companies, so the operators, don't get the same message from all the companies that are in the same segment.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzzwords. I think I've seen the word cloud about 10 times just on my way over here. On the charging side of things, we really focus on operators with advanced requirements. So operators that are challengers in the network in the countries, such as also MVNOs, MVNEs, which is starting to be a very interesting subject in Latin America.
True.
We bring to market a product that's easy to manage, very capable, very flexible, that also is easy to operate with a smaller team. So that could be, for instance, a complete charging system, like we have with TeliaSonera in the Scandinavian markets. But it could also be for specific services, like data charging, like we do with Millicom, for instance, in Latin America.
Okay, now when you mention charging, which is an important topic, we're hearing that with the increase in data usage, charging models need to change. So tell us, what are you seeing in that area and how the charging solutions need to be flexible enough so operators can today create a scheme for their tariffs, but that might change next year because of, the scenario with data might change completely. Today is Facebook, and tomorrow we don't know what would be the hot cookie.
I think the aspect is what we're starting to see now in the market is you're moving from the silos of prepaid and postpaid into more of a converged solution.
Haven't we been in that kind of an area of moving to that for the last 5 years without happening?
I think we have. But we're really starting to see our operators and our customers
now it's happening for real.
Absolutely, and the lead foot in this is primarily the billing solutions, the BSS solutions behind it. From a real-time charging point of view, you're starting to see prepaid and postpaid customers being taken care of in the real-time aspects, but also you're starting to focus on prepaid and postpaid based on service rather than on a subscriber basis. So for instance, just as an example, say I have a company phone where my company pays for voice, SMS, but where I choose to have a prepaid account for mobile data or for roaming data on top of this within the same subscription. So I think with that, we have been talking about this forever, but some parts of the telecom industry is not moving very quickly, and I think here you also have a great opportunity for MVNOs, MVNEs moving into the market, because you have operators with legacy systems. They're very stuck in their architecture. It's hard for them to change, and I see great opportunities for that, for new challengers.
Okay, so you guys, going back to the legacy systems, are you alleviating with your product the transition from legacy to new services, or still if you have a lot of legacy, the pain is going to be there anyways?
Yeah, you have to serve the old customers in the old markets also, but it's about having a product that's flexible enough to adapt, because technology is always going to move a lot slower than the marketing department. So the marketing department needs to be able to have the possibilities to create products that the customers need and cannot be waiting for an infrastructure that's lagging behind. So.
Now, going back to a point you mentioned, which is the real-time component of, or the dynamic OSS that needs to be implemented these days. And obviously we have in Latin America a huge prepaid base, and real-time probably was already part of the components that they had to put in place years ago to accommodate for prepaid. Do you think that the fact that we had a large prepaid user base makes it easier for the operators to reach that convergence that you're talking about in terms of postpaid, prepaid, and not associate those schemes to the user but to the services?
I think that there's a greater understanding of the need of having the real-time aspects because of the huge percentage of the subscriber base being prepaid.
Okay.
If you look at European operators, for instance, they focus very much on their postpaid subscriber base, the higher ARPU. But I think that there's a better understanding for operators in Latin America to be able to move towards a converged solution where you have real-time handling of all services, but rating and charging also for all subscribers. But the pain is still going to be there. Okay. The fact that you have an offline charging basis for your postpaid subscribers.
Okay. Now, and going to the messaging space, the SMS or the MMS keeps growing and growing and growing. And at some point we heard different things to cope with that growth. One was not concentrate so much on the SMSCs, but concentrate perhaps on doing a combination of first delivery attempt, gateways to reroute traffic and not use the SMSCs, so you don't have to put more on the network. Hosting messaging solutions, so you don't have to put anything on your network. What's the scenario today? What operators are doing when they see this messaging that keeps growing and growing and growing? What are they doing? They are, what different scenarios you're saying?
Well, we're seeing primarily, I mean, there's lots of directions in this market. It's a consolidation energy within operators, where you have operators that have several markets, and you're trying to consolidate for an OPEX point of view. You have the person-to-person messaging market that's still strong, but is growing not as fast as it used to be.
Okay.
So we have operators really looking for new markets, like the machine-to-machine market, the application-to-person market, and really trying to leverage on these new income potential. Okay. So if you see the application-to-person, for instance, it's a much higher revenue per SMS, for instance, than what we have in the person-to-person market.
Okay.
And here's a great growth potential, and we're already doing this with some of our operators.
It's actually email going to be killing SMS person to person, not the other SMSs, which you're thinking are actually more important. But you think that email is going to be kind of there was a debate for a long time that now it's going to be complementary, blah blah blah. But I'm seeing that more and more myself. I'm using more email than SMS. I used to use more SMS than email. But as soon as I got a smartphone, my SMS usage has really decreased.
True.
On my end, probably some other people might have different behaviors, but I don't know.
I think it's a strong complement. I think it's going to be a very strong complement for a long period of time. I don't think that SMS is going to be phased out in the next year or two or three.
Wow.
And what we're seeing in the application-to-person market, for instance, is that's growing very strongly, both from the operator revenue point of view, but also from the total amount of messages sent. Okay. That's something that we work strongly with. We're also working to see SMS as a complement. For instance, in our booth in Hall 8, we're showing interaction with social media. Okay. So, for instance, people visiting here today can update their Facebook accounts using SMS. And that's a strong complement, because you're talking about email and mobile data. It's still very, very expensive to use the roaming part for data. And for people that are not able to afford that, or don't want to spend that kind of money, they still want to have the interaction with social media such as Facebook. So we're demoing that and letting anyone that comes by our booth to basically set that up.
What number is your booth?
C72.
I don't think anybody's going to fly from Argentina to visit you this year, but if they're here and they see it, you said it was Hall 8.
It's C72.
C72.
So we have a strong presence over there. We get the majority of sales, marketing, and also management here. And we set up, thus far, until now, we've had over 50 booked meetings here. So see it as a very successful.
Any from Latin America?
We've had, yes, a couple.
Okay.
A couple.
You can
some
mention.
Existing customers.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, Peter, thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck at your booth.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody will see the video. And
Perfect.
We'll
Thank you
visit
very much. Thank you.
Volvemos enseguida.